Shalom, Israel. This is Brother Robert, a.k.a. Pastor Nobody, from the Fountain of Israel Bible Studies class. You can find us on thefountainofisrael.com or use the search box on YouTube and type in Fountain of Israel. You can also email us at foibiblestudies@inbox.com. Again, that is foibiblestudies@inbox.com. We believe the whole Bible is the truth and relevant to our lives today. Join us weekly as we feed the flock with the uncut word of God. Matthew 4:4 says, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God." So until next time, this is Pastor Nobody. Search the scriptures and prove all things. Shalom, Israel.
HebrewWay.com, high-quality custom Israelite apparel store. The place to find scripture-based attire for men, women, and children of all ages. We have a wide range of t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, caps, beanies, and bags, available in a full range of sizes. Also, the ideal place to find Israelite gifts for family and friends. HebrewWay.com is geared toward awakening men and women and especially the youth worldwide. Try our uniquely crafted collection with free shipping on eligible items. Help spread the word of the Most High. Visit us at HebrewWay.com. That's HebrewWay.com. Shalom.
Don't touch that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk Free Radio.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to another show. You're now listening to Season 9. That's right, Season 9 is back. Debate Talk for You. I'm your host, Sal Showtime. We are back on the airwaves. I definitely missed all the listening audience out there. And if you haven't been on social media, make sure you subscribe to the Twitter page. That's Showtime DT4U, Facebook, Sal Showtime. Of course, keep up with the social media. So I'm going to give you all that information in a few minutes. But I see we got a lot of people calling in via phone and via Skype. For those that listen on the internet, the number is 319-527-6239. This is just a show that's letting people know what happened, why we had a brief hiatus. The Debate Talk View wasn't on the air for those that know and that follow the program. I just want to let everybody what's happening. For those that's on social media that follow Sal Showtime and the brand Debate Talk View, they already know. But there's a lot of people out there that call in and don't necessarily follow social media. We have a lot of elders that check out the show, and some people just, they called in and didn't hear, any more programs, and they didn't know what was going on. So I just wanted to fill everybody in, but we're definitely back on the air, and all the segments that we usually have on Debate Talk for You is back. The Relationship Challenge, UTP. Of course, we have a new segment called Second Quarter, and, of course, the Man Up segment. And we also have a brand new segment called The Verdict. And, of course, all the hosts are here. Standing by, we're going to hear from each and every host on Debate Talk Free Radio. But, again, we want to hear from the people, 09527-6239. It feels good to be back on the airwaves, talking to the family out there. But before we begin, of course, I just want to, let people know that when it came to Debate Talk not being on the air, I basically was sick. I went to the hospital, and I thought I had pneumonia, but apparently I had 2 blood clots, two in the lungs and one in the heart. And right now I'm taking some Coumadin. I'm taking a couple, some medicine to get rid of it. It's going to take a little while, but I just want to take this time out really to, thank a lot of people that's been supporting me, and it happened in October, actually. So, I want to thank a lot of people tonight, and that's what it's all about. But, of course, I want to make sure all my hosts are on the air. So let me see. Let me go to the phone lines. Let's go to 530. Are you there?
Yo, what's the word?
Hey, what's going on? Let people know who it is.
Yo, what's much love to everybody? It's your brother B.A. Ben Abraham out of Sacramento, California. Most definitely glad to be back on. Most definitely glad that our brother Sal is in good health and he's able to function and most definitely be the man and run the show while the Most High allows him and all the rest of the hosts to just do our thing and present the information. and praise the Most High for all things. Most deaf.
Yeah, man. Since I got you on air, I definitely want to thank you, Brother BA, when this situation happened in October. The brother constantly kept calling me and encouraging me to, get healthy and giving me some diet plans, things that I should eat. Because you do the vegan thing or you do a vegetarian. Which one of them you do? You vegan or you vegetarian?
No, I'm not necessarily vegan. I'll say I consume more vegetables than anything else. I've been flirting with the vegetarian thing right now. The meats I'm pretty much taking in. Like I said, I'm trying to cut back from the beef. It's more so chicken and turkey. So, but for the most part, though, man, my intake of vegetables and fruits have most definitely gone up. It's pretty high.
There we go. So, but the BA was filling me in on a few tips as well as Emunah, because, she got the yummy cottage thing going on, a lot of healthy eating, you know what I mean? So I definitely have my sister and my brother informing me on some of the right things to eat, in order to, get back in good health. And definitely, BA, I appreciate you, man, for, supporting me through the whole process. But let the people know about the Man Up segment, man. What's going on with that? Let them know. What's the new stuff you have planned for the Man Up segment?
We're pretty much, the Man Up segment is all about integrity, love, and respect for all people. We don't have a racist view, and we don't, and we most definitely love being human beings, and we understand that the Most High, according to the Word, we understand that the Most High requires His people to be humane as possible. So overall, the Man Up segment is all about that. Our goal this season, me and Anonymous Hebrew, we got together and did some brainstorming, and we want to most definitely make an impact. It's more so of bringing in a brand new style of teaching. We are reaching out to a various side of Jacob that's not familiar, that people are not familiar within the community. And we don't have anything personal against anybody in the community who's been on in the past. It's just that we don't hear anything new. We hear the same recycled, regurgitated type styles of talking and teaching, and we just see that there's a lot of conjecture going on, and we want to most definitely keep the information fresh to where it's helping people and not necessarily helping out with the ego. It's about changing lives and making an impact on those who are in darkness. So the Man Up segment this season will most definitely have a tad bit of a different approach. We're going to most definitely bring a whole new arsenal of brothers who are not known, because from what we understand, there's a lot of brothers who we have brought on in the past, and we don't have anything personal against them. We just don't see anything that they're doing that's standing out. We hear the same rhetoric. And it's about time that if we're going to be this chosen people like everybody claims to be, we have to most definitely step outside the box of religious zombies and make an impact socially as human beings to all humanity, because we understand if we the children of Israel, we are supposed to be a light to the world and to bring all people to the covenant, all people to this God that we serve. And that's what we understand. And that's pretty much the approach that the Man Up segment is going. And Most High willing will continuously make an effect on those who want to see. We're not here for the wise and the prudent, because the wise and the prudent, they know everything. So we're not here for you. We're here for those who want to see, who want to learn, and who want to embrace this knowledge and information that the Most High is allowing us to bring out.
All right, well, once again, there you have it. Brother BA is back with the Man Up segment. We're going to bring him back as well, because he's on two different segments, and we're going to bring him back on in a few minutes. Once again, I appreciate you, Brother BA. Let's let the family know, tomorrow night, guys, we're going to have the hot seat right here on DT4U. For those who don't know, the hot seat is where we invite a special guest, and for 60 minutes or more, depending on what the special guest want to do, we invite a special guest to come on, and that's where the listening audience can actually call in and ask, questions to whoever the special guest may be. And tomorrow's special guest in the hot seat will be Zabak Kanai from Who Got Next. So you don't want to miss that. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have our first Hot Seat 2019 with Sabak from Who Got Next. A lot of y'all know him. If you check out their YouTube pages and, check out social media, a lot of people know who that is. So we're going to be speaking to him, So get your questions ready. Make sure you call in and ask your questions because that might be the only opportunity to get your questions out. And everybody know the slogan at Debate Talk for You. We keep it clean, keep it professional. We're going to bring in the next host. Of course, hopefully the number one is working over here because, the Blogtalkradio, you know how that go. But I think I see my next host over here, my sister. She came to the hospital, representing for Hannah Sheen. Let me see if this is her. 718-258. Can you hear me?
Hey, shalom. This is Mayana in the house.
Hey, Mayana. What's going on? What's happening with you?
So you know what it is. I'm like eyeball deep in research as usual. Yep. It's good. That's so good. I'm glad to hear your voice. I'm glad to see that you have some semblance of your old healthy self. I'm not going to tease you on the air. I did enough of that behind the scenes. I'm really, really happy. Really, really happy for you.
Yeah. Let's keep that behind the scenes. There we go. But, hey, listen, since I got you on the phone, Mayana, I want to thank you very much. I mean, you put it out there on social media daily, letting the world know what was going on with me, as far as my health and my, updates and stuff like that. You came to the hospital, with the sisters. We have a lot of sisters that support the brand. Shout out to Hannah Sheen. And once again, I just want to thank you live on the air. I appreciate you. And much love to you, sis.
Hallelujah. All praise to the Holy One of Creation for sustaining you and keeping you with us. And we're very, very grateful. All praises due. Absolutely, I speak on behalf of Hannah Sheen with some degree of confidence that we are all extremely, extremely grateful. We were so heartbroken to have to see you go through that when you were going through that. But we are so elated. We are so grateful to the Creator that you are doing well, that in the Most High kept you with us and kept you going through it. So, hallelujah. I was just telling the sisters that we're coming on for our kind of return, and Emunah Ami said to send you all of her affections. She considers you a son, and so she is really excited that you're back on the air, and she was just very adamant that I give you her affection and her goodwill.
Yes, of course. We love, I love the elders. You know what I mean? We respect our elders on Debate Talk for You. So, of course, much love, much. And listen, y'all, when Mayana came to the hospital with the sisters, they were not playing. They was asking the nurses all type of questions. What are y'all giving this brother in the IV? All kind of all type of stuff. You know what I mean? So they was making sure the brother was okay in the hospital. So I listen. I really, really appreciate it. Well, let the family know what's new for UTP Under the Palm. What's going on with that?
Wow, Under the Palm is not playing on our second season. It's our second season, right? No, it's our third season. No, it's our second season, right? I don't even know anymore. But I know that when we coming back, we are seriously not playing. We are going to be dealing with all the topics that are touching our community. We are not holding back any punches. The daughters of Israel are not going to be patient and silent as we see these kinds of destructive threads of discord happening throughout our community. And I'm not talking about just the men. Some of the discourse and some of the conversations and behaviors of the sisters, we're going to talk about that. Some of the ways that the sisters understand Scripture or misunderstand Scriptures, we're definitely going to talk about that. We're going to look at this surge of abuse that we know has been bubbling under the current. It's not a new thing, but social media is definitely shining a light, a necessary light on these abuses coming out of not just our community here at home, but we saw last year that we see that in even our communities abroad that these kinds of injustices are happening to our women and our children, and even to our men and our boys. And so we need to really get together and think about what we're doing and what we're not doing, and whether or not we truly understand that Torah is practical. And so all of these conversations about the scriptures as if they are these abstract ideations and not as if they are practical guidelines for living, that has to stop. And there's all of these turf wars over the text is just absurd. And so the daughters of Israel will no longer be silent about that. So under the palm, Hebrew Women Speak will be speaking about all of those things. Hanashim specifically, which was born from the UPT, yes, I was confusing myself on the acronym, from the UTP platform, has been doing a lot of proactive moves. Emma and myself have begun to engage the community, and about the community proper, not just awakened Israel, but Israel that is not already awakened. A lot of the kind of playing catch-up that the women have been doing, a lot of us not being at the gate, but instead being in the background, playing, in the triage area after the sisters have already come through wounded because nobody was at the gate. We're not satisfied with that position. So we are in the community. We are interacting with others. We are changing the perception of what Israel looks like. It's not just the face of those that you see in public areas, but there are women and children behind these names, and people need to know that. And not all of us sound a particular way or are espousing a particular doctrine, but instead we're truly living this way. We are raising our children in this way. We are building in this way. We intend to grow and live and continue to rise in our culture. And so I know that Emunah and the other sisters, we've found ways to entrench ourselves in all of these various spaces so that we can sort of change the narrative. We won't have other people speaking our narratives anymore, not just as women, but as Israelites, as mothers, as daughters, as sisters, and as women on behalf of our families.
That's right. That's right. And listen, y'all, if y'all follow Mayana on social media, she always got something going on, with the community, so make sure y'all follow her. You want to put that information out there for those who don't follow you, how to keep in touch with you?
Oh, absolutely. If you want to follow me personally, you can catch me on Facebook under my name, Mayana Johnson, or you can catch me on Instagram under Ha Sofaret. On Twitter, it's also Hasofaret. But the best bet, if you really want to know what we're doing and where we're going, Hanashim has a website, and that's Hanashim at webs, W-E-B, hanashim.webs.com, and we try to keep things updated there. Our first newsletter will come out February 1st, and it'll have some interesting articles about nutrition, about law, about the community calendar. So if you want to know what's going on in the community in February, then definitely catch this newsletter. You can keep up with Hanashim by going to Hanashim on Instagram, Hanashim on Facebook, Hanashim on Twitter, and, of course, the website that I just gave you. So I will certainly be more than, maybe I'll drop it in the link in the box. Or you say, Sal, one of those links in the box also to make it a little convenient for you. And like I said, we're not keeping it just inside of Awakened Israel. Instead, we are proactively waking up sleeping Israel as well, and even letting those that are not Israel but are part of the overall fabric of society know that we're here, that we are proactive, that we are positive, that we are the true children of the Most High. And when I say that we're the true children of the Most High, I mean that we are performing in our positive roles. We are giving a positive image, that we are positive in our speech. We're not running around being vulgar. We're not running around being immodest. We're not running around being salacious. but we are doing our level best to uphold the standards of piety and our Creator.
That's right. That's right. Once again, Mayana, I appreciate you, sis. And let the people know when it's going to be on the air. UTP. Let them know when it's going to come back on the air.
Well, as we know, the first Monday is always reserved for the First Lady. So the second Monday is mine. That's February 4th. On February 4th, the Under the Palm Hebrew Women Speak will return to the airwaves. As a matter of fact, two of our members have had wonderful successes in their ministries. So in order to pay due attention to that influx of what they need to do for the Most High and for the community in their respective areas of expertise, we will have an opportunity for someone to call in and maybe be a guest on UTP. We do have new members coming on. I'll introduce them on February 4th. On that panel, but I have also decided that I would like to leave one seat open for any member of the listening audience that might be interested in the topic to sit with us and have a conversation. So I'm really excited about this new platform, this new way of staging the set and having this conversation. Our first topic will actually be a continuation of the concern about the different types of abuses in our community. And it's not to say we're not trying to beat up on the men and say the men are just really abusive and they're just incredibly aggressive and toxic and all of these other buzzwords, but instead we want to look at why this is happening, who it's affecting, and kind of I would love to engage the men. And I've seen a lot of the men, they're starting to feel very put upon. They're starting to feel very looked down upon, and I want to kind of engage them in these conversations so that it doesn't become a reverse type of abuse. We're just beating up on the men, but the men have to understand where all of this frustration that the women are expressing now. It's not new. It's just that it's now there's a light on it, and we have abuses in the community. And just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So we have to find a way to be honest with each other so that we can address these issues, heal from these issues. And it's not something, and I say heal, and it's not a magic bullet. It's not something like you can pop a pill and fix it. But we need to start to figure out how we can identify it, be honest about what abuse looks like, who's being abusive, and why these things are so detrimental to us moving forward, why it's causing so much separation, so much damage in our community. So our first return episode will really be looking at that conversation. We're going to look at the biblical texts that are being used. We're going to invite them in to come and tell us how they're feeling about this. I want them to feel perfectly comfortable to say, I don't think this is right. I think you guys are blowing it out of proportion. Say whatever you need to say. Be as honest with us as possible so that we can really work through it. We'd have to put away the niceties and really be honest with each other in order for us to make any real progress. And so prayerfully, that's what this next episode on February 4th will be about. The short title is Unprotected Text in the Israelite Community.
All right. That's what's up. Mark it in your calendar. Mark it down. UTP is back. Back on the airwaves. So once again, Mayana, I appreciate you. I thank you for coming on the air. And again, family, make sure you tune in and follow Mayana because she always got some things happening. She's doing things in the community. Make sure you follow her all over social media. And I'm going to leave all the information in a link below, as usual. Just to let you guys know, Wednesday we have a show as well. The second quarter is back. That's right, the new segment called The Second Quarter with host Shan-T and Brother B.A. Make sure you tune in. They are, of course, you heard B.A. Shan-T is also here. I'm going to bring on later on. But before I bring them on, of course, we have First Lady, the DT4U, Yummy Cottage. We have her right here, right now. We're bringing her in. Emunah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Brother Sal. How you feeling?
Feeling all right. Feeling all right right now. What's going on with you?
I already know. All praise be to the Most High, the Holy One of creation. Doing well, doing well.
Yeah, well, just like I got you on the air once again, Emunah, I want to thank you publicly You know, Emunah, she was calling me in the hospital. She was another one that was giving me a lot of information, doing research on my condition. Let me know certain things I should do, some things I should ingest in my body. You know, make sure Yummy Cottage. Make sure you go check that out. And speaking of Yummy Cottage, I know I'll be seeing you on a live, you know, doing a lot of Yummy Cottage stuff. What's going on with the Yummy Cottage? What's happening?
Oh, praise be to the Most High. We hanging in there, you know. It's building something from the ground up, from conception to materializing it, and it's work. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, I happen to enjoy it, but it definitely is work, and you know, I'm just learning along the way on the business side as well as, you know, the preparation side. We had an awesome event yesterday. I teamed up with some other people in the community, urban trade, as well as another brother family who has a health food market. And so we did an awesome event today. It was called Breaking Bread, and I catered it, and it went well.
Okay, breaking bread. There you go. And like I said, make sure I go to social media. Follow Emunah Israel. She always on the live, you know, cooking in front of y'all, showing what she's going to prepare for the day, what she's producing to the community for the day, you know.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so also we got some things that's going on with the show. Let them know about some of the changes that may occur due to your schedule and things that's happening with you. Go ahead.
Right. Due to my schedule, I wouldn't be able to do as I, you know, because, you know, it may seem that we appear for the show. Usually myself, Sister Mayana, you know, I have help in preparing and coming to what we're going to talk about and making it really meaningful. As it relates to my schedule right now, I wouldn't be able to put so much time and effort into it. And so we're going to be on a case-by-case basis with the relationship challenge, you know what I mean, where we have to come in. We've covered a lot of things. I'm the type of person, I don't like redundancy. And it just might be me personally, you know what I mean? And so for having so many seasons of the relationship challenge and really speaking to a lot of the issues, unless the listening audience has something specifically they would like to speak about, all of the, like, you know, when you paid all your outstanding bills, all of the outstanding bills, all of the things that were definitely an issue, we have a whole catalog that people can't say no one is not speaking about this, nobody's not speaking about that. So unless I'm the type of person, I'm centered on healing, that's really what I'm passionate about. And so unless we're ready to move to the next level, then we're just spinning our wheels. So the relationship challenge is really looking at, are we willing now to challenge one another beyond just talking about it? I mean, when we left off earlier last season, we actually ventured into an area that caused a lot of angst, you know what I mean? But I felt that the area needed to be touched on, and we needed to speak about that, because usually within the relationship challenge, we're speaking about relationships between men and women. But then we get into a space with the brotherhood, and we get into a space with the sisterhood, but we can't overlook the fact that what people are subscribing to is causing a rift, and it's causing a challenge in relationships. Right? And so when we addressed the situation of the messianic divide, I saw some things that said, okay, we need to deal more in-house with what's going on. And because that conversation is silent, and you know, how much and this is public. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm about really coming to the table and being honest about where we are without pushing away from the table and not willing to be there. Because at which point, you know, what's the use? And so that's how, for those who may have listened in and seen the direction that the relationship challenge is going in and really not understanding why, the reason why we went in that direction is because for episode after episode after episode, we're addressing certain things, and it would be disingenuous not to address that what would be the elephant in the room. That is also a challenge. And so for the listening audience, hopefully I gave some clarity to that, because that was on my mind, and there was a lot of fallout thereafter, I just have to be honest. You understand? And so I'm like, at what point, how ready are we to be challenged in our relationships and grow and heal from certain things? How ready are we to really, what we say, love one another? Because that's what it's going to take to come around. If we're going out into spaces and telling people, come on in, you know what I'm saying? Come on in. And then, you know, you ain't dressed, you don't have your face washed, your clean clothes, you don't have any of those things, you don't have food prepared, then why are we inviting people in?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know you probably didn't expect me to go in that direction, but these are the things that are on my heart that make me say, you know what? Let me step back from this picture for a second. We've spoken about all these things. Now, what do you want to speak about? You know what I mean? These are all the things that we saw that was the issue. Now, what say you? What is the issue? And why are we still challenged in our relationship? So kind of that's where the relationship challenge is. I want to thank you from day one, supporters of the relationship challenge. But the honesty is we have to come to the table being honest.
Yeah, and for those that are new to the program, we have a lot of, go check the archives, a lot of shows, relationship challenge, there's a lot of topics, so you can go back in the archives and go check it out. There's a whole lot of content on there, and also let them know about the peer review for you. Let them know about that.
I mean, the peer review for you is really just a space where if the person has a book, if the person has research, if the person wants to sit down or individuals want to sit down and discuss certain things that may not necessarily fit in the relationship challenge or may not necessarily fit in UTP, they can definitely come to the table and have a discussion about something that you need peer reviewed, something that you need looked over, so a space that you want to have a conversation about. You know what I'm saying? So it's a space for authors. It's a space for people to come and sit down at the table and say, I have this research. What are your thoughts? Because another issue that I find is that we go into our little enclaves, we go into our little caves, our little cabins, right, and we only surround ourselves with people who believe what we believe, think what we think, and then we come up with these theories. And then when we present these theories to the public, they're not peer-reviewed. You see what I'm saying? And so this is how we have all of these wayward doctrines floating around the place, because we want to disagree what it is we have brought to the table. And one of the things that myself and Sister Mayana, if I have a thought, I'm like, hey, what do you think? Because I think the same thing that she thinks. She doesn't think the same things that I think. I put some information out there to see if somebody's going to push back and say, hey, maybe you missed this part. If we're not doing that in our research, if we're not doing that in our studies, we're doing ourselves a disservice, and we're doing the people who are listening to a disservice. Because there's always one. If we think we already know, there's no need to further have a conversation. And too many people are coming to the table acting like they already know. You see what I'm saying? You can't be a think tank by yourself. And so peer review is a space where you allow others to overlook what it is that you have presented and see whether or not, okay, this place I can see, this place I don't see. And that's going to take a level of emotional maturity and spiritual maturity. And so that's what peer review for you is.
All right, so, hey, family, look out for those shows right there. Plus, again, Yummy Cottage is in full effect on Facebook. Let the people know, how often do you do the Yummy Cottage footage as far as, like, Facebook and social media and stuff like that? How often do you do the Yummy Cottage stuff?
I mean, it really depends. Some days if I'm behind, on delivery, what actually happened in the new year is that we changed our schedule. We're no longer going out. We're actually staying in-house, and they have to come to us. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 12 to 5, we're there. So the reason I don't really go too much live anymore is because if I get distracted, then boom, the people are on me. It's 12 o'clock and it's lunchtime, right? And so I've been trying to lean towards preparing pre-prepared videos, but that's, again, time-consuming. And so as the Spirit leads, I would say, Brother Sal, as the Spirit leads, you may see me. You can subscribe to Yummy Cottage or like it on Facebook. And so when I go live, as well as on Emunah Yisrael, you will see it. And if you have any questions about something that I've prepared or how to prepare something and I have information about it, then I'll definitely share it with you. I share recipes there. I share other people's successes there. And it's really not about trying to make everybody go vegan. It's really about being aware and conscious of the food that we're eating. A lot of our people, especially Israelites, stop at dietary laws. Oh, it's clean. You don't got no pork in it. It's kosher. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, it's clean, it's kosher. It don't got no pork in it, but it got poison in there. You know what I mean? And so it's really about a consciousness and coming to where it is that we can begin to substitute some of the foods that we're eating for healthier options. Stop frying, put it in the air fryer, or bake it. If you can, eat more greens, drink more water, drink more teas, less soda, less juice. You know what I'm saying? And so these are the kind of conversations, because at the end of the day, if you don't have your health, it's going to be a problem. And we are the product. You understand? We are the product. When we go out there and say we represent the Most High, the first thing the people are going to do is look at us. If I go out, they're going to look at you. They're going to look you from head to toe. They're going to see what's coming out your mouth. They're going to see your spirit, and they're going to be like, well, wait, hold up. It's like somebody says, I work at a bank. I'm a realtor. They're going to start looking for signs of what you're saying. So this is why I concentrate on the first priority is getting the. Because if the individual is not in order, then we become a bad representation of that which we are trying to sell.
Right.
I know.
Oh,
I'm over here making. I'm doing my flyer. I'm doing my Taco Tuesday flyer while I'm talking. But yeah, definitely, that's yeah.
All right, there we go. Like I said, I'm going to leave all the links in the description box. Make sure you follow Emunah. You know, Yummy Cottage. Is there any, you want to put it out there, like, I don't know, locations or, you know, people out in your area?
Yeah, it's a real business. So if you're in the Melbourne area, if you're in the Melbourne, Florida area, location is 2715 North Harbour City Boulevard, Melbourne, Florida, 32935. Again, like I said, just if you want to see the menu, it's from week to week. We rotate the menu, so it's on social media as opposed to wasting all the paper printing it. And so it's from week to week. We don't ship out as yet. Hopefully when we get to the next level, we'll be able to ship out meal preparations, things of that nature. But for right now, we're starting local, and that's where it is.
Yeah. So once again, Emunah, I want to thank you for your support as usual. And as you hear, you know, Yummy Cottage is definitely on the rise. You know, schedule changes are in effect right now. So, you know, whenever we can get her on the program, she's going to be here. But once again, you're always welcome to Debate Talk for you. Of course, we appreciate you, Emunah. I'm going to let you go. I see that I hear the kiddies in the background, the kids. So.
Nah, you funny. But yeah, most I bless.
All right, take care, sis. Have a good one. All right, once again, families, Debate Talk for you. You know that number, 319-527-6239. I see we got a lot of Skypers out there. We got a lot of people on Skype checking out the show, and people are on the phone lines, 319-527-6239. Again, if you want to say anything, you can press number 1. You know, this is just a show, a reintroduction, you know, to the family out there. We've been on a brief hiatus due to my health. You know, like I said, I have 2 blood clots in my lungs and 1 in my heart. I'm taking the thinners, and they're actually thinning out. They're going away. It's not quite cleared all the way, but the doctors are letting me know that it's definitely going away, and it's shrinking slowly but surely. So people keep me in your prayers. You know, I have to actually go back to the doctor on the 29th to get an overall analysis on whether I should continue to keep taking the blood thinners or not. So keep me in your prayers, family. And again, you know, I appreciate everybody out there on social media. Of course, we have more people on the phone lines. Let's go to Shan-T. Shan-T, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Shalom, shalom, Mr. Habarim. That means peace and blessings to my people out there. It's your girl, Sister Shan-T Stock, or as it will say on my birth certificate, Ashanti.
There we go.
Paul Tatila, Ko Kabed, Wehati Perez, Le Yahweh, Abinu, Abi. So all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, our Elohim, our Father.
And, of course, Brother B.A. is back. Say hello, B.A.
Yo, what's up with it, everybody? Most definitely just glad to be here. Let my sis go ahead and do her thing, and I'm going to just fall back and support her.
All right, so the reason why I got both of them on the line, of course, like I said, the second quarter. You know, the second quarter is back. We only had one episode that came out, you know, last year, but they're going to continue their new segment on the brand, the second quarter. Shan-T, you can let the people know what the second quarter is all about. Why is it entitled the second quarter? But talk to the people. Go ahead.
Well, the second quarter is mainly inspired from 2 Kings chapter 22, when the priest found the book of the law, the Torah, and the king summoned them to go to Huldah, the prophetess, and she dwelt in the second quarter, and it is pretty much a copy, the second area, and that's where mainly the women would be. It's not necessarily to say that the women are second class. It's just they had their own little collegiate arena, so to speak, and so the second quarter is titled after the place where Huldah dwelt, because we're pretty much giving collegiate type of information to the people. Pretty much going to be giving out resources, articles, documents, encyclopedia, archaeological information from historians, and the like who come out, and this information is out there, and we just want to equip the people with how to go tap into that information, how to go acquire it, how to access it, how to understand it. And it's fresh, new, and exciting information. It's pretty much secular historical information that corroborates the scripture, the text of pretty much from like 3000 BCE all the way up to like 3rd century AD, 6th century AD, and even to give you some medieval information. You know what I mean? So that's what the second quarter is all about, and it's also to promote the relationship between women and men teaching. This is in the style of Priscilla and Aquila, if you read from Acts chapter 18. Priscilla and Aquila actually pulled some people aside and helped the people who were getting to understand their belief a little better, and it was pretty much a women and men teaching, conveying messages to expound and bring proper edification to the people who were coming over into the faith of the Most High, converting from paganism, idolatry, things of that nature.
All right, once again, it's the second quarter. Make sure I tune in this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Brother B.A., let them know what your role is when it comes to the second quarter.
Say it again, Sal. I didn't hear that last part.
Yeah, what's your part of the program when it comes to the second quarter? What's your role?
My role pretty much is just to confirm the information that we're bringing out, just to back my sis up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of information pretty much is stuff that she has showed me and sat down and shared with me personally. So I'm just learning just as much as everybody else. The next few topics that we're going to bring out are some things that we're pretty familiar with, and we really believe it'll be a benefit for the community to tap into it. Like I said once before, we hear a lot of things being taught and a lot of people claiming scholarship. But one thing I was taught years ago when I came into the Word and when I came into really thoroughly looking into history, an elder was told me when it comes to scholarship, you have to be honest. And from what I'm starting to notice is that when it comes to information that we're reading or coming across, I know there are plenty of people who research in the community. There's plenty of them. And I know that the information that Shan-T has come across or what I've come across, these same people who claim to be scholars and who claim to research have come across it as well. But for some reason, that side, that type of information, that it may not be, it may not be in the benefit of certain individuals to put out certain information based on what doctrine they push or what ideology they push. So our goal is to be honest about what we're bringing out and to share it. It's not about debating. It's not about arguing. It's not about fighting. It's about, look, we looked it up. Here's the sources that we have. We're going to give them to the audience, and it's on you to go back and to do the work and see if it's accurate or not.
Hallelujah.
We all, you know what I'm saying, I think as Hebrews, we always talk about the Christian and how the Christian always relies on the pastor to give their believers their information. But we could say the same thing is going on in Israel or in Jacob. And I'll just say Jacob, to keep it simple. Because Jacob say they'll run their mouth about the Christian this and the Christian that. But when it comes to Jake do the same thing, and they'll allow somebody with some type of prestige and some type of recognition and notoriety do all the research for them and just believe it. And if somebody else comes with something to challenge it, not necessarily challenge it, but to be like, here, look at it from this perspective. We found we done some research according to this that may help it, or in other words, it may just challenge it and prove it to be false. And people will sit there and would ignore it and just be like, nah, I don't want to hear all that because that's that European type stuff or whatever it may be. You know how Jake is. But for the most part, we have to start being honest. And what I'm starting to notice as of late, a lot of dishonesty is going on in the community when it comes to certain teachings, and I'll leave it at that. But that's all I got to say. And before I fall back, I thank the Most High for my big sister Shan-T. She know I love her and I appreciate her to death. We were very close. I know the family. She knows my family. And all we do is just get together and we study the Word. And we have a concern for people who are really seeking. So this is why we're doing it. We're not doing it to be seen. We're not doing it to be liked. We're doing it because we have a love for the Most High. And for those who are seeking for that knowledge, we'll give it to them if they choose to receive it. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah, you can respond, Shan-T.
I'll start off where he left off from. Brother BA is like he's the big bro. He don't understand. BA has came over here. He's supped with me and my family, hung out with me and my husband, gained a great rapport. When people say they want fellowship, when people say they want family with people in this walk, BA is there. You know what I mean? I can always rely on him. I can talk to him. We could chop it up for hours, and we're genuine and honest with each other, and that's rare in this area. And I'm here to let y'all know that there's more brothers out here like BH. There's more brothers out here like Brother Sal. You know what I mean? To where when you put these brothers out in the forefront, maybe we won't have to start talking about, you know, all these other negative things that come along and are in the light more. You know, we want Brother BA, people like Brother Sal, family, man, we want them to be out in the light more, to have an example like that, so our women out here can start rushing towards that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, with the second quarter, the collegiate information, like I said, it's pretty much for people to go back, and as BA alluded to, go back and research for yourself. We want to equip you with the tools. We want to equip you with the know-how. We want to equip you that you already have the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to get these things for yourself. One of the things that I like to talk about is self-autonomy, and making sure your personal relationship to Most High Yahweh is intact. We forget this thing is personal. And we're supposed to try to exhibit things such as fruits of the Spirit, love, compassion, grace, mercy, and long suffering. You know what I mean? When you have a personal relationship, when you spread that love, when you spread that respect, when you understand the Most High Yahweh gave each and every last person a choice in this world, then you understand. Okay, you plant a seed. Let the Most High come in water. Let the Most High come in increase. You know what I mean? If a person's going to, not accept the information, I always go back to the parable of the sower, Matthew 13. You know what I mean? Some people get choked up. Some people, their seed gets planted by the wayside. Some people seed fall on, thorns, and some people seed falls on fertile soil. And so once we understand those things, we won't have to keep answering questions that our ancestors have been answering for the last 2,000 years. It's the spirit that draws. And the thing is, when you put out the information, you plant that seed, and the spirit is going to draw if that person be the sheep. Okay, because only the sheep hear the Father's voice. So with that being said, we're planting a seed. We're putting out the information, and we're provoking people or persuading people to go back and study. Do the research on your own. Here's the information. You know what I mean? I'm also teaching biblical Hebrew to some sisters and brothers, making sure, when you have that, when you have a little bit of that, you have self-autonomy, you're governing yourself, you're able to think for yourself. You're not forced to go to somebody else to get them to, control you or manipulate you. You see, so that's what the second quarter is about, putting out this collegiate-style information. It's PhD-type material. You know what I mean? It's PhD-type material, and it's for those who have an ear to hear. It's for those who have an ear to hear, and guess what? When you put this information out, we won't have to talk about, what people do believe, what people don't believe. People are going to believe what they do. And it's because people are on a certain level, they're on a certain path, and this is all about a personal relationship with the Most High. So prayerfully, with love, compassion, grace, mercy, we'll put these articles out there. We'll put these encyclopedia notes out there. We'll put these documentation out there, and then people can go and say, Most High, send me your Holy Spirit. You lead me. You guide me into all truth. You help me come to a sound conclusion. I'm just a humble vessel. I'm just a humble servant, and I thank you, Sal, through the Most High, that you allowed myself and Brother B.A. to come on. Praise God.
Hey, yo, Sal, let me just say this real quick. Just to let y'all know, Shan-T, she the big sis, I'm the little bruh. I just want to clear that up.
Okay.
Nah, I'm the little brother. She the big sis. It's all good.
I hear that. Get some clarity on that one right there. There we go. But being that you're coming on Wednesday, let them know what the title is for that show on Wednesday. Let them know.
Wednesday. This Wednesday, that's the 23rd, right? 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The topic and the title is called Paul Among the Imperial Empire. Imperial comes from the word emperor. We understand that for 1st century, 2nd century AD, a lot of people are unaware laws of the land and what type of laws were going on. And they're unaware of political and social and economic plight that our people went through during 1st and 2nd century. And there was some progression made from, what we see, what was in the 1st century AD as opposed to what we see now. And so we're going to give an understanding of how things got a little twisted, warped, and distorted along the way. However, we're going to actually give you, like I said, this information been out here for 25 years. And me, I serve a limitless Elohim. So what I did with the grace and mercy that the Most High has allowed to impart upon me, I've gone into areas that some of our people won't go into because of they think the Most High doesn't use certain people. They think the Most High doesn't, create humankind and give all shades, sizes, and colors of people information. The Most High preserves the information through whom the Most High will. And so I've been able to step out of the box, go get that information, bring it back to our people. It's time to step in some different arenas, some different areas, some different atmospheres, and bring this information to light. The stuff I'm bringing out, like B.A. said, it's been sitting out here for 20, 25 years. Some people won't be honest with it. I want to be honest with it. Somebody help me, and I want to help somebody else. I tell people I have an agenda all the time, and my agenda is I want to love you, I want to love on you, and because I do, I want you to have access to this information. Freely, it was given to me, so freely I give it back. And when you take a proactive approach, like I said in the beginning, less likely you're going to be, trying to patch up things after the fact. You see what I'm saying? When you know how to go into these things and know how to have your eyes wide open and your ears wide open, when you know how to diligently seek the Most High for yourself and obey, you're going to have that personal relationship, and you're going to be getting yourself in check, and then you're not going to, quote-unquote, fall for the okie doke, as we like to say out here. You know what I mean? And you're going to have less time for Bible beef and gospel gangsterism. You see what I mean? So that's what that is, Sal.
And I'll just say real quick, when it comes to not tomorrow, but on Wednesday, we're going to dig into the Imperial cult worship or the Imperial cult theology. And this is a topic that a lot of the so-called scholars and scholars of Jacob don't want to either deal with, or they don't have a blue in the hell clue what it is. And I think it's the latter. I'm just keeping it real. So I honestly believe that if we're going to call ourselves scholars and teachers and all these different names, we're going to have to be well-rounded when it comes to information. And like Sis was saying earlier, and I'll just say it in these terms, the Most High is not bound to a building. He's not bound to a personal doctrine. He's not bound to a certain skin color. If he's the creator of all, which we all will admit, all of a sudden now we have this thing being taught that only black people, only our people, only that's a bunch of bull, in my opinion. And then I can go to the scriptures and prove that the Most High is the God of all people. So, and that's why Israel is very important, to be a light to the nations. That's the agreement that they made with him, and you can read that in Exodus chapter 19. But with that being said, information we're bringing out is very vital. We understand that when it comes to New Testament history or the renewed covenant history, or whichever you prefer to call it, a lot of us don't want to do no research on that history. We just want to just abandon that and take it for what it is. So it's time that we start being honest and start looking into that history and dealing with the different concepts that the Apostle Paul was dealing with. He had 3 different laws that he was talking about. He was talking about the Torah. He was talking about the law concerning the sages and the rabbis of the Talmud. You know, a lot of that's been going on lately. And we have the doctrine that's being spoke on of the imperialists, the Roman gods, apotheosis. That is a term that these Roman landlords, they were going around deifying themselves. And that is and so when people see the word law, they think Paul is necessarily talking about the law of Moses. No, he is not. He's dealing with 3 different laws. But when we sit here and don't go back and read historical information that lines up with the scriptures, we'll just assume and put our personal interpretation on it as if we know what we're talking about. And then we hold our heads high, walking around like we know everything when we really don't. But with that being said, I'm done.
Oh, one more thing, Brother Sal.
Go ahead.
This is not necessarily a women's thing, right? However, this show is going to definitely kill all thoughts that the Bible is misogynistic. It's going to kill them all. Praise be to Yah. I yield.
All right, well, there you have it. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to leave the links on social media for Shan-T and Brother VA. Of course, Shan-T, I want to thank you as well for your prayers and being in my corner when I was going through, the hospital. And, I had your support. Once again, I appreciate you as well. And we're going to see you guys on Wednesday.
Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom.
All right.
Happy to see you on Wednesday.
All right. I see we got some people on the phone line. Once again, the number is 319-527-6239. Let me see. Let me take one of these calls real quick. Let's go to 718-378. You're live.
Hey, shalom, Sal. This is Emunah Ami. I'm just calling to say
Emunah.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just want to say shalom to you. How you doing?
Hey, I'm just saying shalom. Just glad to have you back. All praises to the Most High. We prayed for you, and we were just hoping that everything would work out all right. We were really, really concerned about your welfare, and we're just glad to hear your voice and hear you back and know that you're back up. I know you still got a little bit of stuff to get through, but we're going to be praying for that too. So, and we see that prayer does work. So just glad to have you back. Hallelujah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I appreciate you as well. I appreciate all the prayers. My enemy let me know. She let me know, like, you've been definitely praying for me, and I got your support. So once again, I appreciate you. What you been up to, though? What you been up to?
This is the same old, trying to keep the nation informed, going back and forth. Mayana and I, we're going back and forth to this Women in Faith conference. We're trying to continue to do our work through Hadashim, and of course, I think we're trying to finally, with another group, try to get a prison ministry really, really established. And so, that's part of some of the stuff I've been into, besides the other stuff that I with my granddaughter's school and everything. I'm just staying busy, that's all.
Yeah. Well, once again, I just want to say publicly, I thank you. I thank you for your support. And definitely can't wait to hear from you back when UTP is back in the air. So looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay, you're more than welcome, and may the Most High continue to bless you always and keep you well, safe, happy, healthy, all that good stuff.
There we go. See, you got support from the elders out here. That's right. There we go. Once again, I appreciate you. And if y'all want to chime in, you know that number 319-527-6239. I see we have a lot of people on the phone lines listening to the show. But if you want to chime in, simply press number 1, and we'll add you to the conversation. However, we do have Anonymous Hebrew is in the building. What's going on, Anonymous? How you doing?
Hey, shalom, Mr. Picard. Peace to the family. Peace to all my brothers and sisters. Peace to the brother Sal. How you doing, man?
Yeah, man. We back on the airwaves, man. And since I got you on the line as well, this brother right here, man. This brother was calling me like daily, every day, in the hospital, praying for a brother. We've been actually interacting ever since, almost every day. And once again, I just want to publicly thank you, man, for your support and, for your prayers, and also letting people know on social media and on other platforms, actually. Shout out to Solar Mind Debate League. He allowed Anonymous Hebrew to go over there and for them to, say a prayer. You want to let them know about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Man, so it was a few people, but yeah, Solar was really cool, man. Solar Mind, he runs a debate league platform, and so it was the night that it happened, and he allowed me to come over there, and I was gonna say a prayer, but it was a gentleman, this guy named Minister Howell, who he is a Christian, but really good brother. So I don't know how people feel. Some people don't like our Christian brothers and sisters, and I do consider them our brothers and sisters. They just, we got to get them straight on some doctrinal things. But he allowed Minister Howell to go on and pray, and that brother, it was right before a debate, and he did. He went on there and he prayed for Sal, and, it was just a blessing. So, yeah, man, a lot of people allowed us to come onto their platforms and just, speak out to the people and try to get them, get all the prayers up for Sal that we could. And as the email said, we see that prayer works. So welcome back, bro. It's good to hear you back. It's good to hear you up and running, man. That was tough for all of us.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Like I said, if it wasn't for, the host of this show, all of y'all, for letting people know what's going on, probably wouldn't be here today, y'all. So once again, I appreciate y'all prayers and y'all support. We got BA back on because, y'all got the Man Up segment too. Say what's up, BA. BA doing triple duty out here, right?
Yeah, yo. What I'll do, I'll let Anonymous, this is his time, man. So after Anonymous is done doing this thing, I'll chime in. Go right ahead, bro.
Man, that's crazy because I was going to ask you to come on before I even did that because anything that I'm doing is, in my opinion, second to my bruh because if it wasn't for BA, I wouldn't even be doing none of this. So, nah, bro, let's deal with Man Up first. I should have had my butt here on time so I could have been there. So, nah, bro, we you get your flowers first.
No, what I had already pretty much broke down the Man Up segment. So what we'll do, brother, go right ahead. It's your time. I spoke enough. Go ahead and let people know what you into, what you got going, and then what we can do the Man Up segment secondary. Just give everybody a reminder, my brother. Most definitely, this is your time. I've said enough. So do your thing, all right?
Shalom. Toda, thank you, big bro. Thank you.
Yeah, BA passing the mic. There we go. But, yeah, listen, let's let the people know about the brand new segment, on DT4U. Like I told you, it came to me for you to, have your own particular segment on this particular program for 2019. Let the family know what that's about. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Man. So, all praise to the Most High. The brother Sal, he has blessed me and been very influential and asked me to run a show. And I don't know if he said the title, so we'll just go ahead and just jump right into it. We're going to call the show The Verdict. And for me, this is a humbling opportunity for me just to contribute to the excellent work, that I see my brothers and sisters on here doing. Like when you think about what the First Lady Emunah did and has been doing, what we see the brother B.A. and Sister Emunah and now Sister Shan-T, they've been paving the way. So just to be able to come in and contribute to that, for me, it is a humbling opportunity. So just really brief, like the goal from what has been placed on my heart is to kind of address a variety of topics, things from entrepreneurship to domestic violence, romantic relationships, financial empowerment, all of the things that we see happening in our community, and to kind of bring to a forefront some of the positives as well as the negatives, but kind of from various angles that we've been seeing going on in our community. I do see growth, and I've spoken to all of these brothers and sisters on the panel about this, with the exception I haven't got to speak to Sister Emunah yet, and I want to get her input as well as the things that we see that are actually happening in what I consider to be our community, in this Israelite community as we're growing and we're starting to see different things shape up. And so my goal is to try to kind of bridge a gap between our seasoned veteran believers as well as the new mishpachah, like the new family that we have rising up and that are just coming into this way of life, right? My goal is to get us on there. We're going to laugh. We might cry. We're going to disagree. But hopefully the goal is to always grow. And at the end, one of the main things that I want to do is always try to bring some solutions to the topics that we will address. I want to really go into and start digging into things and bring various what do we talk? Various concepts to the table. Like, I want to hear from people like Sister Only Love, where we can get an update of what's going on, in the homeland. I want to have the brothers and the sisters that are hosts on the panel. I would like to have them on maybe every 4 or 5 shows where we're all just on there together and we have a united title that we deal with and talk about. There are various things that I've spoken to that will be doing on the panel.
Okay. Yeah, I heard like a little pause just now, but I can still hear you. All right. And once again, called The Verdict coming out. We still putting things together as far as how it's going to go about. But any more things you want to let people know as far as details, as far as The Verdict is concerned?
Well, I will say this. The first show we have planned already is going to be next Tuesday. So the show, I think, is going to go every other Tuesday. And we're going to have the brother Ronald Dalton Jr. on, who is the director of the incredible new documentary, Hebrews to Negroes. I don't know if you guys have seen that. If you haven't, definitely go check it out. You can see it on Vimeo. I think you can rent it. I rented it for, I think it's like $10.99. So I rented it twice because I wanted to take some notes. So, but it's a dynamic documentary, and it addresses a lot of different things that we need to know about the migratory patterns, some DNA, the various people who have ties to Israel all around the world. So I'm looking forward to building with that brother and bringing some things out and hopefully having some fun that evening, laughing a little bit and dealing with some real serious topics, because we do see a very heavy attack on those of us that consider ourselves to be Israel to try to get us to either give up our claim or to discredit what we're saying. So I think that brother really did a great job putting that together. And, I kind of want to, the Most High has blessed us to be able to get him on. So I want to kind of give that brother a little praise for that and bring out some of the information, because the information is so dynamic. If you really get in there and break it down, you can use it to not only educate your family, but to educate those that are coming into this way of life.
All right, so once again, the program is going to be coming on, The Verdict, every other Tuesday. So make sure you tune in, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, The Verdict, hosted by Anonymous Hebrew, right here on DT4U Radio. Being that I got you on the phone line, man, another topic we got to address, and I have that on my topic. Sheet right here. Got to address that, because while I was in the hospital, man, everybody was like, yo, what's going on? What's up with this trial, man? We need this trial to happen. What's going on with the trial? I got a whole bunch of messages. A lot of people were reaching out to me about that. So of course I answered a few people because, a lot of people was hitting me up. So many that I couldn't get back to every single person. But now that we're on the airwaves, let the people know, like in regards to the trial, what happened. Go ahead.
This is a loaded question. So like the brother said, we had a trial set up where it was going to be the Messianics on trial, and everybody, we went through like the prelim and everything was set. And then when Sal got sick, obviously, we all wanted to just take a step back and kind of just wait and see what was going on with him. And unfortunately, during that time and that process, several things started to happen with but it created a certain dynamic and a certain amount of energy that started to spill out in other arenas and publicly, and so it just got to the point where me personally, as the captain of the Messianic team, I reached out to the people that I consider to be the elders, got some advice. I reached out to the team and got some advice and got their opinions on it, and I voiced to them what was being told to me in prayer and fasting, and it just became evident that it wasn't best for this particular team to go into that situation. Right, like I said, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus or belittle anyone or anything like that, but because of the interactions that were starting to happen, it was best to kind of undo that. So what we ended up doing was postponing the trial. We're in the process of finding a new team. I think we have found the captain. I know who my recommendation is. I haven't told him yet, but Sal and BA, they've definitely spoken to him. I've had some good conversations with him. And I think the brother that we have set to be the new captain and go ahead and run it will be a very positive influence. He he has a good relationship with the other Torah-only brothers and sisters, and I think it will definitely be edifying. But it was to the point where, if you got to blame anybody, blame me. If you have to call people names, go ahead and call me names. I've been getting called them a lot lately, so I could take that part. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to subject anybody else on either side to what was happening. It had just started to get, it wasn't edifying. And as another sister had told me, she was like, well, the first one got real contentious, and some would say that it wasn't edifying. And I would agree that it did get very contentious. And that was kind of the goal, especially with Davon and myself. The one thing I would say is he and I, Davon and myself as the captains, we went into it not wanting it to be as contentious and as cantankerous as it was. And we just, I personally saw things happening, and wisdom teaches you when you see certain things happen, you need to take a step back. And I did. I took a step back and decided it wasn't best to do that. So, once again, if you got to blame anybody, blame me. If you want to reach out and talk to me, Sal knows how to get in touch with me. But I did. I had made that decision, and I stand by it 100%. You there, Sal?
Yo, Sal.
Well, until the brother comes back, I'll kind of expound a little bit more as well, because I don't want to make it seem like I was just, I'm the captain and these people are doing, what I said. Like I said, I spoke in depth to Brother Zadok, Brother Bishop Eliyahu, and Sister Shan-T. And I voiced my concerns, and I asked for all of their guidance and counsel. And they all, to the woman, made it clear, we're ready to go and do the trial. But if, the Most High is giving wisdom, and we all were kind of on the same page that at first we were wanting to wait for Sal to get better. Hello? Y'all still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm here. I was just reaching out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No
just to let
doubt.
you know, you got Mayana on the line, so she was in the other team, so we're gonna let her respond as well.
Right.
But that let you let you finish up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I said, what's up, sis?
Hey, Shalom. I thought you was going to forget all about me. I heard you call everybody's name but mine all day.
Man,
it's all good. How you doing?
I'm good, sis. I'm good. Yo, I'm going to put this out here, too.
I'm glad that this conversation came out. I don't know if there was another sister that you spoke to, but I know that I remember talking to you and saying that as it pertains to the idea of there being tension building as a result of the second set of trials, that was something that was pre-existing, and that even as Emunah weighed in a little bit earlier, that it kind of caught its first wind when the Messianic Divide series kind of went out, and she already kind of reflected on there was some mounting tension even then. And so once that first set of, 10 hours of trial with the Torah people being, not even all Torah, to be honest, it was just Davon that was being, for the most part, questioned in that first series, that the return, or the Scripture says there should be just weights and balances. So for it to go the other way with the same set of people that were doing the questioning the first round, it is Torah. For it to be the same in the second round, but I heard from what you were saying, and I understood that you felt uncomfortable with the direction that it was going into, and didn't feel that it would be edifying. And I think that I said to you that I don't know if I think that some would argue that first trial wasn't edifying either, or to the satisfaction of some people. Some people would have said that it wasn't satisfactory, just as this second trial is not going to be satisfactory to certain people of certain positions. But I hear, it's very exciting to hear now that there is a team that's willing to have that conversation, and so that this conversation is going to happen, because from what I understand, that the direction the second trial was going to go in, that it wasn't going to be a repeat of the standard that was set in the first. I think that we all kind of agree that wasn't really a dialogue, that there was something trying to be accomplished in that conversation that had more to do with investigating what individuals may have taught or articulated in some underspace, and it really wasn't about Torah. And so that was something I think that all of us, by us I just mean all of the people that were involved in the conversation, I personally wasn't going to be on either side. For those that don't know, or those that may not remember, my role in that conversation was going to be just as the mediator. I was just going to be the one that made sure that everybody adhered to the rules. Emunah was going to be on the Torah side. I don't know if Emunah is still with us, but Emunah was on the Torah side with the brothers from the first trial, and I was just mediating both ends, because I have a pretty good relationship with both sides. And so it's disappointing to me that that's not going to happen, but I do have an appreciation for the idea of the greater good, because all of these conversations are not about the people in the discussions. It's about the people who are listening. The participants on either side are very grounded in their position, so they're pretty much already made up their minds, so to speak. But it's the audience that is still trying to tease through some of these concepts and ideations, and where exactly certain texts fall when it comes to how we play out our relationship with the Most High. So it's really good to hear that conversation is going to move forward. Do we have an idea now that there are people that have been apt to take the place of the original team? Do we have an idea when we want to schedule this second round? I know that Emunah is super busy, and now my schedule has exploded. So Devon and then we'll probably wind up having to tap someone else. I don't want to speak for Emunah. But
stand
do
by.
We know?
Actually, Emunah is here. Emunah, you can say your piece, being that you're a part of the team as well.
There she is.
Yeah. Shalom, everyone, once again. It's 2019. The years are moving by. You understand? With that, I say that as we continue to grow, hopefully that these discussions are supposed to be an extension of our growth and development. When we have the opportunity to come before people to share, we should always remember that we're representing the Most High. And in these spaces and discussions, that really hasn't been done. I had my reservations about participating, because of what I have seen in times past, and saw that it was not necessarily most productive. However, there was some assurance that the reason why the request was made is to kind of keep that peaceable exchange. I cannot say that it was, and I shared my concerns about what the first incident looked like. And in truth, it just looked a little strange what was done on the first, quote, trial. And now when it's time to come back to the table, there's all these, reservations about returning to the table. And maybe, I don't know, again, I'm not hearing the fullness of what it is, but either way, this, hopefully, as we move forward, again, we're not going to beat one another's stance out of each other, but not being willing to listen and wanting to prove something to someone else, but not allowing that same thing in return is unjust weights and balances. You understand? I don't, like Sister Miranda said, and Brother Sal said, I don't just come on Debate Talk for you because I have nothing else to do, as with many of us. You understand what I'm saying? And so prayerfully, as we move forward, these discussions that we have are about truth and righteousness, because tomorrow is not promised to any one of us. And this is not the entertainment league. You know what I mean? I know it's called Debate Talk for Luke, but I can speak for myself. I'm not just here for entertainment. And so, that's what I have to say concerning it. As Sister Miranda said, I'm not really sure because I really don't do the back and forth. I don't do the back and forth. But another thing I don't do is hypocrisy. I don't like hypocrisy. If we're going to come and say information alone is not going to save us, the application of the information is what's going to help us get closer to the Creator. And so playing information war with one another is played out, as I've heard many people on the panel say tonight. That's played out. The application of the information that we're receiving and how we're using it to better ourselves, our families, by extension, our community and our nation. If we're not doing that, then we're not doing nothing. So at the end of the day, if we are wedded to whatever ideologies and whatever perceptions that we put out there, that's our choice. But what becomes a problem, and I take personally, is when we try to put that into the atmosphere and then say that, this is what it is, and if people follow this, then they're going to get to the destination that we ourselves haven't gotten to. So prayerfully, and I know they're probably like, Emunah, what's wrong with you? Like, again, like I said, this is just a lot of going on. I see a lot of hypocrisy, and I call hypocrisy like it is. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of hypocrisy. If you have issues with people and you can't come to said person and say whatever the issue is, that's hypocrisy. Why are we talking? You see what I'm saying? If our heart is not clean, why are we talking? If we can't get over certain things, if we can't have bargain and baggage, why are we talking? Why are we covering it up with all of these fallacies? For what? Who are we fooling? Why are we wasting time? And I've experienced some things that are kind of disheartening in this space. But it doesn't hold me back. But I wouldn't be myself if I don't say what needs to be said. You know what I'm saying? So concerning, I know Sal's like, I'm on this bugging now. I'm going to give you the mic. But, you know what I'm saying? Concerning some things, hopefully going forward, people are willing to be more honest about what they really feel. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have to take the person to the side, how you felt about whatever you felt, and be honest about that instead of coming to the spot and acting like it's all good when in all reality it's not. You see what I'm saying? So all praise be to the Most High on that one. And if anybody have any questions or comments about what I just said, feel free to holler at me. Follow Mike.
Well, yeah, I would like to I like to respond a little bit, and then obviously ask my sisters a couple quick questions. So first thing, I think the sister Emunah made a good point about trying to apply wisdom, right, or apply what we have learned in this process. Can I be heard? It sounds like everything. Okay, I'm sure. All right. So, the first thing on my part is, and this is what I express to the sisters in private. There's a different level of energy on the male side than on the female side, right? Call it what you want to call it: male bravado, ego, or just testosterone, however you want to view it. But what we see happening is it goes from beyond information to becoming personal. And I even found myself, I'll just deal with me, found myself getting drug in it. And once once people get drug in it, it is what it is. You're going to say things, everybody says things. And, some of us has done our best to try to reconcile certain things and try to make sure things have gotten better. But once again, what wisdom tells me, is when I see a train wreck coming, it's best to avoid it. And so while some may view us not going through with the trial as hypocritical or maybe us not stepping up to the plate or however. I explained to all of those brothers in private, you can get a debate. We can work on, maybe certain people one-on-one, whoever, we can work something out like that. But in that space and what we saw happening, I personally was not comfortable with even bringing the sister, like Sister Shan-T and Sister Emunah, even though they big, they're grown and they can handle themselves. It just got to the point where things were becoming very messy. And maybe last year, I would have been like, okay, let's do it no matter what. But I feel like I have grown. And one of those things that I see in growth is I really do want to see the quote-unquote messianic community and the quote-unquote Tanakh-only community find some way to coexist and learn to build and learn to talk. So when I see that happening and when I see it coming and happening, the first thing that I do is say, okay, if I'm in a position where I can avoid it, I want to avoid it. Now, can we come back to the table and maybe talk about it or work it out? I don't know. I'm willing to open it up to dialogue and talk about it. But just to be honest, and like I said, I don't want to say either party's involved, right? I'm not trying to put anybody on Front Street. But the things that I saw happening in the way that they started to escalate, if I can stop that, I'm going to stop that. And I feel like I did that. So I would tell the sisters respectfully, I've learned from you guys on if we see something coming, we kind of avoid it, right? Like I remember one time, Sister Emunah, we were on the platform and some people wanted her to maybe stop somebody from talking. And Sister Emunah was like, I don't get confrontational like that. I don't act like that, right? So I've seen everybody exercise wisdom, and this was my way of exercising wisdom. It wasn't us trying to run or us trying to have unequal weights. And if we're going to be honest about being equal weights or having equal weights, I view like Sister Emunah, Sister Mayana, a brother like Zadok, who are just some of the elders that were involved as actual elders, right? And I think they can all agree that this should be about information. And once again, it started to move beyond information. And I would love for us to get to the point where when we see that happening, it's almost like having Big Mama in the room or Big Papa in the room where he says, okay, grab you by the ear and say, come here, stop that. We haven't moved to that level yet. We haven't moved to the level where we come and grab someone by the ear and say, stop. So what we just see is rogue acting out. And after a while, especially on the man side, on the male principal side, things can escalate. And when I see that happening, I got to stop it. Right? I do. And that was my choice once again. So if there is hypocriticalness, by all means, put it on me if that's what we feel. But I don't believe that I was being hypocritical. In this instance, I really believe that I was trying to act out in wisdom. So I would like to hear the sisters' response to that and at least let me know if it's me that you feel was being hypocritical or me that wasn't doing what I'm supposed to do. Please tell me directly, and I'll take my lumps because I love y'all, and I don't got no problems with anybody. But I am doing my best to try to maintain and grow this thing that we are calling Israel rather than divide it.
Yeah, this is Mayana. This is Mayana speaking. So both, I appreciate you asking for feedback. Both you, Anan, and Brother B.A., I've spoken to both of you separately behind the scenes. You know that I have a great deal of sisterly affection and respect for both of you. But what I would submit for your consideration is that when we're talking about the response or staying in the game, so to speak, when it comes to trial 2, and even I would dare say when Emunah speaks of hypocrisy, the idea here is that if something is started, it should be continued. Even in the example that you gave with Emunah, and Emunah saying, I'm not prepared to interrupt someone. It's not quite the same, only because she didn't start something. So it would be more as if Emunah said something, and then someone was responding to her, and then she allowed that conversation to continue, that would be the same thing. And that's, I think, what we're asking or what we're bringing to the attention or we're trying to shine some light on is that there is a conversation that was started by one party. So it's just weird for it not to, or for it to be picked up by someone else. And I hear you when you say that you've grown. And personally, I applaud all of these efforts to grow, and I would never do anything to stunt your growth or suggest that you should not grow in any way. But I would submit for consideration that part of growth is engaging consequences. And so because there were certain things put into play or certain things put into motion, that consequences arise. And so now there's a second side of the dialogue that only you can answer because only you began it. And so although others can come and pick up this general space, it's kind of maybe even unfair for them to inherit something that they themselves did not put into motion. And so this other, where the information goes now has a momentum that came from a particular source, but now has to be picked up from this other space because the people picking up the conversation weren't part of the beginning. There was, when I worked for the city, I worked with a bunch of judges, and it was very interesting. It's a very quick anecdote. It was very interesting. This board of judges made a decision without one of the judges, and that decision was bad. And so now that it was time to rectify it, the one judge that was left out of it, he said, you know what, you didn't consult me for the takeoff, don't consult me for the landing. And so what he was saying in that moment is that this thing that you put into motion, this thing that is now about to crash and burn, don't include me now because I know I have to inherit a mess that I had nothing to do with. And I think on some level, this new team is inheriting something that they didn't necessarily put into motion. And I think that's some of the criticism, if you would call it that you're hearing now. But again, like I said, for me, the point is that these conversations continue. But if I were to have a criticism, it would seem to me that all the original players should continue the conversation that they started because only they understand why it's going in a particular direction, even if the information is so is general, right? Even though the information is about Israel, it's about how we are engaging the text. I think that the people who have been following it for the first 10 hours may feel a little cheated not to be able to hear how you respond being on the other side of the table. So hopefully that gives some clarity because, like I said, it would be disingenuous for me to have affectionate conversations with you off air and then, make you feel in any way that I'm attacked.
No doubt.
In public, because like I told, and BA knows also, I consider you brothers, and I'm a little bit older than you, so I feel big sisterly towards you, and so all of this is just in the same way that I would speak to my biological brothers. It's just this idea, and I think all of us, every single one of us at some point or another has spoken passionately and sincerely and authentically about accountability. And I know that like you, BA, Emunah, Shan-T have all held me to accountability to all of the things that I have said, all of the things that I have taught. Maya, this is what you said, and reminded me of my spaces. And I think that that's what you're hearing from us now is that same sense of we all kind of have an agreement about accountability. It's not an attack on your growth. I want that to be perfectly clear. I'm incredibly proud of all of the growth. You're absolutely right. If we listen back to the tapes, both of you have grown tremendously as men and as teachers and as leaders and as fathers, and I'm very proud of you for those things. And I think that because of that, there's a certain level of expectation and maybe a little bit of disappointment that you're not going to return. But like I said, if I were to find anything positive about it, you are finding other people to pick up the conversation so that it doesn't fall into disrepair. So there's that, but I just wanted to kind of be clear on what you might be hearing as criticism, and prayerfully I did that in this time.
Yeah, no doubt. And Sister Emunah, did you want to respond as well, sis?
Yeah, I mean, to what my sister Mayana said, there's a lot of agreement in that. In general, not just the trial, like I said, but in general, a lot of the discussion that is being had, the behaviors that we are exhibiting. When I'm speaking to hypocrisy, if we as a people are coming in spaces that we are presenting to people, and we may not be perfect as we are work in progress, then we need to model. We need to model that we have an understanding of the information that we're trying to disseminate. Essentially, is what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? And so when we go to spaces where it may not be a one-off, but we continue to model a behavior that contrasts that which we're presenting, we're belaboring the point. You see what I'm saying? We're getting in the way because we haven't first yet done the work. And so when I speak about hypocrisy, I speak about us as a people, if we're going to come to a table in general and have nice, pleasing words to one another, but yet still we carry things with us, you feel me, and not really let those things go or really address those things, and therein lies the hypocrisy. And so when I'm speaking to that, I have witnessed not only concerning this trial, like I said, because I was reluctant to even participate because, all the time in debate talk few, I really don't, that's not really my style. My style is round table discussion, listening to people, even though I may not agree with them, so I can understand where they're coming from. And from doing that for all of these years and really seeing the responses of people who you've extended this welcome to then you see where we are. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's kind of the perspective that I'm coming from. Like I said, we can definitely talk more about it, but as the time is getting late, we can't keep Sal up. You know what I'm saying? So
no doubt. I'll just respond. I mean, I definitely hear where both my sisters are coming from. And once again, like I said, if there's anyone to blame, you can blame me. But at the end of the day, it's much deeper than just holding offenses, right? And I'm just strictly speaking on the trial. It becomes much deeper than just maybe we had some exchange of words or anything like that. It literally has the potential to escalate to different areas. And so, once again, when I saw that, I made the decision, and it had nothing to do with not being able to answer questions or not wanting to, saying that turnabout is fair play and anything like that, right? And so, there's a few, I guess, things I'll say really quick. Number one, personally, and anybody on the team, I don't think that it was our goal to start this, so to speak. Right, these things, especially on the first trial, it just happened organically. It wasn't an understanding of a whole lot of things, like to the point where we didn't even realize how long it was going to go. To say that those brothers may feel cheated or feel like slighted, I definitely understand that. But I also believe in men being men, and on both sides, there were some things that have been done that warranted, and even Davon will admit this, especially if we talk, offline, that it's that group just, it's not going to work, right? Not everybody in the group, just certain members in the group, just, it's a mixture, whatever it is. It's just, when it comes to this book, it's not going to work. Give him here. Come on, man. So when it came to that situation, I made that decision, and I will, like I said, I will accept the criticism. But I just want my sisters and my brothers to know that I was doing the best that I could in wisdom to keep certain things from escalating. And so, I'll leave it at that. I think Sister Shan-T wanted to say something really quick. So I'll let Sal bring her in. But to anyone that is offended by my actions or feel like, I didn't do what you would have liked, I ask your forgiveness. But I I do stand by my decision, and I will do everything I can to make sure that I help put a new team in place. I will do everything I can to prep them up and make sure that they are set to provide the same caliber of answers and integrity that I felt the other brothers would have been able to provide. And at this point, that's all I can do is ask your forgiveness if I've done something to offend you, and say that I would do better next time if I failed you in any way. Go ahead, brothers.
I don't want you to feel like I'm disappointed in you in any way. I want that to be very clear. Like, my entire position on this is just that there's a particular Torah standard that we felt, or I'll say for me, that there's a Torah standard that I was looking for. It's not a personal indictment or a personal criticism. It's just weights and balances. That's the Torah standard. And I understand all of your reasons and all of the justifications that you provided, and that's not what's at issue. I want that to be very clear, not just to you, but to the listening audience, that this is not a private or personal indictment. And I appreciate that you're willing to take the blame, or if such a thing is necessary. But honestly, that's really not what this is about. There's just, when we have rules, like there's just certain expectations that we're supposed to go by. And I hear you when you say that the other brothers made those rules difficult to maintain because certain things were compromised and it didn't feel like a safe. I don't mean it in terms of danger, but like in terms of edifying. Edifying, I guess, is a better conversation. It didn't feel like it would be edifying at this point, but that's just the only thing. I know that Shan-T wants to weigh in, but I wanted that to be clear, that although I appreciate that you will, as the leader of the group, hold that, I don't want you to feel that in any way you're being azazeled. You know, that this burden is being put on you in that way. So,
yeah, no doubt.
To be clear. and that's all. But I yield the floor to Sister Shan-T.
All right, Sister Shan-T, you're on the air, and just to let y'all know, the trial will go on. We will have another trial for y'all. And like I said, the first one was just it was the first one. So the second one, we're going to critique things and make it even bigger and better. So we're looking forward to that. But Shan-T, you can go on the floor. But we do have somebody standing by, press number 1. But we'll take that call later. Shan-T, you do that.
I'll be quick. Anonymous. I love you, bro. You a stand-up guy.
I love you too, sis.
I would love to see. I would love to hear more of our brothers who claim to be Israel do what you just did. Said it how you just said it. And you took the onus on yourself that you didn't even own. You don't own it. And I want to say thank you. I praise the Most High for you. I understand you and what you do as a family man. Unlike a lot of our people out here. I'm shedding tears as I say this. Because I want to recognize more brothers like yourself. More brothers like yourself don't get the praise. We want to talk about abusive men all the time. Now, let's talk about brothers like Anonymous, brothers like Sal, brothers like B.A., who are being stand-up men. We talk about we want soldiers. So I'm not going to belittle y'all. I'm not going to tear y'all down while y'all already down. I want to uplift y'all. I want to encourage y'all. I want to help y'all stay enthused because you got one hell of a battle on this battlefield. And me as a sister, I'm not trying to put on any more on you than you can bear. You my brother, and I love you. I love you. You taking ownership and accountability for something that wasn't even yours. You volunteered, and then you asked other people to volunteer. I've been praying for you. The sisters have been praying for you, Anonymous. You don't even know that because more men like yourself need encouragement. More men like yourself need praise. You a real example of what Israel is supposed to be an example as, to be a light. I appreciate you, bro.
Man, hallelujah.
I got you. All praise to the Most High Yahweh for a brother like you, a brother like B.A., a brother like Sal. Thanks, y'all. We are majoring in the Most High will is being done in this time right now. Woo! I thank y'all. That's all I want to say. All praise to the Most High Yah for my bros. All praise.
Hallelujah, sis. Hallelujah. All praise to the Most High. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna take a second. Go ahead, Sal.
Yeah, we do have a caller standing by. Once again, we have like 10 more minutes on the air. 10 more minutes in the air, so, we addressed a lot of things tonight, the segments that's coming up, the trial, and it's going to definitely happen. I'm looking forward to it maybe in March or April, because, of course, we got to, see who's going to be in the team and stuff like that, organize everything, and we're going to definitely have that trial for y'all. We're going to also have Kemetic on trial, Muslims on trial, all of that stuff like that. But, this is going to be the second trial we do on Debate Talk Free Radio, so we want to keep the trial series going. A lot of people like it. They want more. We're going to give you more. But let's go to the caller. Let's see. I think we have another Skype caller here. Skype caller, you're live.
Hello?
Yeah. What's going on? You're live. How you doing? You're live on air.
Shalom, everyone. That was real talk. I had to take a second there that sister said and just think about what she was saying. But shalom and welcome back, Sal. How you feel, my brother?
Hey, what's going on? I'm good. I'm feeling all right. What's happening?
I'm good, brother, and it's good to hear your voice. Welcome back. I'm glad that you are back. Shalom to my big sis. Oh, I just had a blackout. Shalom to my big self. Mayana. Hi, sis. How are you? And I want to
Hey, shalom, baby sis. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. I saw your Facebook post, and I said I'm calling into the show to welcome Brother Sal back. I'm glad I got the last 10 minutes.
Hallelujah. We love Brother Sal.
And I want to say also, too, shalom to my sister, Emunah Israel. If y'all haven't checked out her lives, y'all need to check them out. She be cooking up some food there, and I'm looking to see her on the Hebrew Food Network soon, and in the grocery stores. And shalom to the sister Shan-T. I feel you. I really felt what you said. And to the brother, I don't know what's going on, but brother, stay strong in y'all. Stay strong in y'all. And that's all I wanted to say, and I'm glad Sal is back, and you guys have a wonderful night.
Slide a toe, though, sis. Slide a toe.
The phone lines is open. Again, the number is 319-527-6239. We only have 8 minutes left in the air. We're going to pretty much.
Shalom, hello.
Yeah, shalom. I was gonna do the same. We still rocking. Sal mic must have fell out.
Okay, Sal's mic.
I think we're also here. I wonder where Sal is.
I think his mic just fell out. So really quick, like I said, I do want to try to have like group shows. So we could talk about that offline though. I do want to have like a few shows where we're all on and we do something. I think that'll be pretty fun.
Definitely, I'm totally with that.
Yeah.
I know BA and I were talking about having a show together.
Yeah, he told me that y'all doing something don't like nobody else, no group participation. I know.
You didn't even mention my name all night, so I got backstage beef with you on that, but that's all right.
I know. It's my fault.
I promise not to call Sal any of our backstage names. I'm not gonna call BA.
Yo, you wildin'.
BA know what it is.
Yo, is BA? Can BA talk?
I'm sorry, BA.
Huh? I think he muted. Nah, he muted.
I'm back on. Can you hear me?
There goes Sal. Don't worry, Sal. We filled up the air. we didn't have no air out there.
Yeah,
wrap it up. We got 7 minutes.
Yeah, we got some more callers standing by, y'all. Let's get to the other callers. Let's go to 469-245. You're live.
Hi, this is Rashika. I wanted to praise God that you're back and that you're healthy and bringing it back. And so we miss you. It was definitely a void. And I've been taking heat on my page. Yeah, it's been crazy, and but the time has allowed me to focus. I've done a proposal for a school, praising God that goes through, and hoping that our community can really come together, especially the female and male, principles, energies, whatever you want to call them. It's been rough, and I don't know what hit me, but something hit me to talk about that, and it just really has been interesting conversations with elder men, younger men in the community, and so I hope that this season will bridge that gap, because it's really a part of our destruction and something that we need to uphold. So I'm glad you're back. So glad you're back.
Yeah,
I wanted to be the camera to your ace. I was like, yo, where is he at? But I was like, your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth, and you have to take care of yourself before you take care of others. So I wanted to just say, God bless you, and thank you for coming back.
Yeah, keep me in your prayers, sis. I appreciate you for calling in, most definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I see we got some more people standing by. Once again, the number is 319-527-6239. We got 4 minutes on the air, so you can call in. Let's go to 720-352. You're live.
Shalom, shalom. Can you hear me?
Hey, shalom. What's going on, man?
Shalom.
I know that voice. I know that voice.
All praise to the Most High, bringing Sal back in the building. Shalom to the panel. It sounds like I hear Anonymous, Emunah, and Mayana. Shalom to y'all.
Shalom, Maki. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yep. I just wanted to give Sal his props, you know what I'm saying? Sal got a wonderful platform, bringing everybody together, both sides of the table, respectable, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say peace to you, Sal, and I didn't want to say much. Shalom to the panel, shalom to the audience. I praise to the Most High for getting Sal right, y'all. Shalom.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man, as well for calling me in the hospital and stuff like that, too, man. I appreciate you as well, man. Thanks for calling in.
You good. For sure. Shalom.
No doubt. We got 3 minutes in the air, y'all. Y'all want to chime in? The number's 319-527-6239. That's 319-527-6239. Feels good to say that again, you know? You know what I mean? On the air. But, we only got 3 minutes left, so if nobody else going to press number one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let everybody get some last quick words in. Matter of fact, let's go down the line real quick. Let me get Emunah. All right, Emunah, last words.
All right, all praise be to the Most High, the Holy One of creation. I pray everybody have a blessed night. May we continue to grow. I can't say it enough. May we continue to elevate, and may we continue to renew our spirit in the Creator. Hallelujah, and love one another. Shalom.
No doubt. All right, shalom to you. Let's go
Sal,
to... Hold on. Yeah, say it again. Sorry about
I'm
that.
like, hit me up. I'll be checking on you, so hit me up.
Oh, no doubt. Most definitely. I got you. Let's go to VA. VA, last words.
Yo, what's up, Sal? And like I was earlier, the thing about the you know what it is, Mayana and Anonymous. We can't do the name calling. I mean, this is our brother and sister thing. They call me names behind the scenes, but it's all good. But for those, Most High willing, we'll get a chance to work together. me and Mayana and a few others are putting together a concept for later on in the season about the Israelite wife versus the wife of the Israelite. Something that we've been slowly but surely putting together. Just kind of talking somewhat behind the scenes. It's still in the early stages, but Most High willing, we'll get that out. But until then, you guys have a good night and shalom.
All right, shalom. We appreciate you. Let's go to, let's see. Let's go to Shan-T. Last words, real quick.
I want to say shalom, Mr. All praise glory and honor to the Most High Yahweh, our Elohim, our Father. I want to say I love y'all. Make sure y'all continue to spread the love, the compassion, the grace, and the mercy, and most of all, long-suffering with patience. Tune in Wednesday night, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Debate Talk for You, the second quarter. I want to do something a little different. I want to hit y'all with priestly blessings for my outro. Yahweh Yahweh Ishmeraka, Yahweh Panabele Hawanika, Yisa Yahweh Panabele Elohekai, Share Washa, Shalom. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine on you and show you favor. May Yahweh lift up his face towards you and give you peace. Peace to y'all. Sal, thanks for being back. Thanks for the Most High Yahweh having you back in good health. And thank you for Debate Talk for You. Love y'all. Shan-T Doc in the building.
All right, take it. Mayana, last words.
Yeah, I take myself off mute right quick. Shabbat Shalom. That's not Shabbat, but Lila told everybody, and last words. Let it be known that when we reach out and love, sometimes pulling each other's coattail, that's love. That's not tearing anybody down, and that's part of building one another up, is keeping one another accountable. I'm being accountable and giving accountability to others. So with that said, Lila told, peace and blessings to all. Shalom.
Shalom, sis. Last words, Anonymous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, peace and blessings to the family. Shalom, Lala Tov. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody take your joy. Everybody, we growing. This is a growing process. Sometimes it hurt. Sometimes it's going to hurt. It's supposed to hurt. I mean, you're growing. But you know what it is? Everybody, I love y'all. What up, though? Sal, we finna get it.
All right, no doubt, man. Appreciate you. And just to let y'all know, I told y'all about Tuesday, Wednesday. There's no show on Thursday, but we have a show on Friday. And we're going to have Brother Josh presenting the class right here on Debate Talk for You. I believe it's called the Torah Only Josh. That's what it's called, the Torah Only Josh. I don't know what he's going to present, but tune in on Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Brother Josh from Absolute Bible Truth. So make sure you tune into that class. Again, we're back on the airwaves. If you want to follow the schedule, go to www.blogtalkradio.com/Debate Talk for You. Keep up with us on social media at Sal Showtime on Facebook. We have a group on Facebook called Debate Talk for You Q&A Lair. We also have another group called Debate Talk for You Radio Update. So you can join those groups to see what's going on with the show schedule and all updates on the program. Of course, follow me on Twitter at Showtime DT4U. That's Showtime DT4U. You can email me at salshowtime77@gmail.com. That's salshowtime77@gmail.com or debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. All right, so make sure you guys lock it in and tune in tomorrow. Take care, and y'all bless.